Hello everybody, and welcome to Lesson 3, Reading Food Labels. In this video, we're going to go over the components of a food label and how to read them. Let's get into it. So first, let's discover the key components of a food label. A proper food label should include the name of the food, so you know what you're buying, the net quantity of the food, so you know how much food you are buying, the name and address of the manufacturer, so you know who made the food that you are buying, the statement of ingredients, so you know what is in the food you are buying, and the nutrition information, so you can fit all the essential nutrients in your diet. Now let's talk about serving size. This should be one of the first things that you look for, because everything else in the food label is based on it, and the food label will also say how many serving sizes are in the product. Let's take a look at the food label on the screen here. We can see that the serving size is only 2/3 of a cup, but there are 8 servings per container. That means that everything else on the food label is based on that serving size of 2/3 of a cup. Next, let's talk about calories. You should always look at the listed calories at the very top of the food labels to see an estimate of how many calories you're going to get per serving. And you got to make sure to keep the total amount of calories you eat each day as close as possible to your recommended daily intake. You can always find your recommended daily calorie intake using Calculate's calorie calculator. Now let's talk about the percent daily value. Food labels provide an estimate of what percentage of the essential nutrients you need, which are provided by a serving size. But be careful, because these are only for a typical 2,000 calorie diet. So remember to think about your recommended daily calorie intake when determining your own percentage values. For example, you can look at the total fat, which says it's supposed to be 10% of the percent daily value. But remember, that's only for a 2,000 calorie diet. Now let's talk about comparing food labels. Food labels are a really good way to compare the nutritional values of 2 or more food items. But you gotta make sure to compare with the same serving size. Be sure to choose items that are lower in unhealthy ingredients like sodium or added sugars, and prefer items that have more recognizable ingredients. And finally, be sure to compare which options give you more essential nutrients, as you have to consider your own needs before just the percentage daily value. Alright, now let's test your knowledge. Feel free to pause the video after I read each question so you can play along. Question 1. Refer to the food label on screen. How many calories are in the entire container? The answer to this question is 960 calories. Question 2. Which of the following is true about percent daily value? A. The percent daily value listed on a food label is applicable for everyone. B. Percent daily value shows how much of each nutrient you need to eat every day. C. Percent daily value is based on a 2,000 calorie diet and may not match everyone's needs. Or D. Percent daily value adds up throughout the day, and you should try to reach exactly 100% by bedtime. The answer to this one is C. Question 3. Which of the following is not a component of a food label? Is it A. A nutrition facts panel, B. Cooking instructions, C. The serving size, or D. The ingredient list? The answer to this one is B. Question 4. Which of the following nutrients should you try to limit in your diet according to a food label? Is it A. Saturated fats, B. Dietary fiber, C. Protein, or D. Calcium? The answer to this one is A. And finally, based on these food labels, which food is the better buy, nutrition-wise? The answer to this one is B. A is a pack of Cheetos, while B is whole wheat bread, which makes B the healthier choice. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope that all of you guys know a lot more about the components of food labels and how to read them.